All right, guys. So this is gonna be kind of like, I don't know. It's good to be back doing this. It's been a while. When was the last time we did one? Like March or April? Everybody's got subscriptions, man. It's almost like we're supposed to be on Twitch or something. All right. So, you know what, Caesar, you're gonna be good, brother. I had COVID and I'm okay. So you're gonna be all right, dude. All right, so yeah, we're definitely going to talk about Vanguard Zombies first. I mean, if you guys don't remember, we haven't done the the format for the podcast in a while, but we'll do. I'll discuss, and then we'll go through, and we can. I mean, I'll talk about what I have to say and kind of the topic that I'm thinking about, and then we can have like discussion at the end. So keep the comments coming, and then I'll address it at the end. But first, why is it? Hold on, let me make sure that this little chat box isn't working. Like it should keep all of them. Yeah, Vanguard is garbage. All right, so I mean, we got it. We've had about a month. I played for probably a week or so, and then you kind of play through the first time, and you sit there and you think to yourself, wow, like this UI is really nice. It looks clean. It looks crisp. The movement system is nice. From a graphics perspective, it's a nice looking game. What's up, brother? But we keep on getting these games, and they seem very unfinished. They hold on, man. I gotta figure out what's going on with my chat box. It's like always show messages. There we go. So it's kind of like it ends up being like a mini outbreak, and it's weird that we're saying mini outbreak, but you think about it, outbreak also felt unfinished when it first launched. It didn't have an Easter egg. It wasn't it like parts of it were clunky. It felt very unfinished. And so that's the same thing with Vanguard right now. It's like no content. You have that little centralized area to the map, but then there isn't like a main quest. It just feels unfinished. It feels like they rushed something out and then they're like building the plane as they're flying it. You guys, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're rushing to get something out, to push it out there, but then after the fact, like trying to supplement it, try to build it up, try to put out the content because they had some sort of deadline to hit. And honestly, like a real world example of that, I mean, that sounds accurate. It sounds like they had to hit a deadline to launch the game and they were playing catch up the whole time. I mean, there's no replayability. I mean, like, guys, seriously, what's the highest round you've been to on it? Like, I don't know, man. I sat there one time and I got so frustrated I had to turn it off. It's like, I haven't even really actually tried to do it. Yeah, they probably did, dude. So here's the thing, and then I found an article about it. Treyarch revealed that when Season 1 launches, new Zombies content and features will roll out in Vanguard, including a new objective, additional covenants, new weapons, zombie season challenges, holiday-themed updates, and more. And it's interesting that we were complaining about Cold War, but the difference between Cold War and Vanguard at this point is that we got a round-based map at launch with Cold War. They both have the camos that you can grind, but the camo for Vanguard is just absolute garbage. It's just like there's so much lacking. It's like, what is there, even if this is like the new direction they're trying to take it in, what is there to latch onto? What is there to be excited about? Round 8? That sounds about right, dude. It sounds like I couldn't even make it to round 4. So, and then something else I found is this main quest will be tied to the arrival of an unexpected ally after Season 1, Treyarch concluded, which will further expand the narrative of the Dark Ether and reveal more details about the characters and entities that players will have encountered thus far. Even if they launch something, even if they put out a round-based map with an Easter egg, even if it's just something that's like similar to like a mini Outbreak, it's just too. What's up, Ziggy? It's just too late. It feels like it's too late at this point. What are they trying to accomplish putting this all out late? Like, I've already moved on. And it's like, I'm being petty, but why would I come back and play this if you gave me an unfinished game that I paid 60 some fucking dollars for? It's like, give me a full game at launch and like we can talk about it. But you give me like this half-assed bullshit, and I'm not gonna come back once you decide you're like ready to put out a round-based map. It just doesn't work for me anymore. We keep on asking for specific things and we don't get them. We want round-based maps. And I don't like we'll talk about that later. But what do you guys think? I mean, what's your experience to this point of Vanguard Zombies, Der Anfang, the graphics, the UI? I love the UI. I love the graphics. I love the I guess the technical aspect of the game is something that I really enjoy. It's just like we have zero content, so it's tough to get excited about it. Nick says Der Anfang is best. I know you're right. Stand by my statement. Vanguard gameplay, UI, all good. Only bad things are content, perk systems, point system, and covenants. It's very RNG based. And dude, y'all tell me about this, because honestly, this is how little I've actually played it. I don't know anything about the point system, the covenants. Like I've used the perks a few times, but that's really it, because I played it and I was like, oh man, this is bad. Like, this is really, really bad. Round 8, baby. What Nick says. Ziggy just jumped on. Feel bad for Treyarch, bro. They've been overworked so much over the past few years. Made BO4, then were forced to rush Cold War in 8 months. Then mid-Cold War had to make Vanguard Zombies. I didn't buy Vanguard. Yeah, dude, it's at this point I can't rationalize, like, you have to wait and see. And that used to be like you could buy the next COD game regardless, because at least it was going to be playable. There was going to be something that was unique about it. You're going to be able to at least put some effort into it before you like completely threw it out the window because it was garbage. Gameplay and everything is good. It released too early. You get 20 points per kill and 30 for headshots. Dude, I didn't even notice that because I haven't even been paying attention. Gameplay is good. Looks garbanzo. Don't like the brown and gray. Vanguard, BO4, BO2, World at War, Cold War, BO3, BO1. There you go. 20 points per kill, especially considering how expensive everything is. What's up, Poggers? So I just don't... Well, here, answer me this, guys. Even if we get a round-based map, even if they drop out, they put out a banger, are you coming back? Are you going to play it? Or have you already moved on? Because the way that they screwed up the biggest this time is that there's other stuff out there. There's Halo, there's Battlefield, and then we actually have more games coming out in the next few months. So what they had going for us, I mean, Warzone wasn't very good at launch. Cold War was okay at launch, but it was more of a beginner map, and it kind of built over time. But I think they keep on putting out rush content, and then we didn't have any other options. We didn't have any other options for 2 years for Warzone. But now it's like, no, I have other options. Like, I don't have to play your garbage game. I can play a Halo Infinite, and I'll probably be playing Halo Infinite. I don't know. We're going to play through the campaign. I'm excited about that. I'm playing Halo and old zombies. Yeah, man. Me too, dude. So even if they put out a banger, even if they put out a round-based map, you're like, okay, cool. You got my attention for a week. I'd rather pay $60 for Back for Blood, a game that's worth $15 at most, and play Vanguard Zombies. Yeah, man. It's just, and it doesn't, I don't know, man. It's just a letdown. Every time they put out something that's not great, it's a letdown. It doesn't make me feel awesome. It doesn't make me feel like, yeah, man, they suck. It's awesome. No, dude, like, my entire channel, all of my content is based around zombies. So, like, I want really great maps. I want really great games, dude. You know, I want to be able to talk about this with you guys. I want Dubs with Subs to be on the newest Vanguard Zombies map, you know? Instead, we're playing Halo Infinite yesterday. Like, I'm not saying Halo Infinite isn't as good of an option. I'm just saying, like, we're called the zombie mob. We're not called the Halo Infinite mob. We're not called the Halo mob, you know? I want to play zombies and I want it to be good. Yeah, dude, I think they're so far behind at this point. Like, can they actually catch up? And I just don't think so, man. It's such a bummer. It's everybody, like, when I post my opinions, people are like, oh, you just want to hate zombies. Like, I really don't. I want to love zombies. I want when zombies to come out for it to be awesome. But it's just like we're struggling. We're struggling to get good content. I think they're struggling to meet deadlines. And I think when we're going to talk about this, one of the next points that we have is, I guess, where zombies is in its life cycle. Halo mob? Dude, we can be Halo mob now. I don't know, man. Sad to see the zombie community slowly dying. Yeah, man. And that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about because we're kind of building. So everybody's, I don't know, we got David just jumped on too. We got Ziggy. We got Poggers. We got 10 viewers for the podcast. Appreciate it, boys. So, all right. So we're on to this next point. The next point is Zombie Chronicles 2. And we keep hearing about Zombie Chronicles 2. And everybody's asking, like, is zombies dead? And then what saves zombies? And everybody keeps saying what saves zombies is Zombie Chronicles 2. And, I mean, like, YouTubers are putting out content and they're like, oh, Zombie Chronicles 2 is being hinted at and all of these things are going to happen. And, well, I found some information about it. So, like, I don't know. Does Zombie Chronicles save zombies? What do you guys think? I would think so, potentially, but you can't see me? I'm on here, man. I got the stream pulled up. You might have to refresh it. Just pay small map creators and put custom maps in the game, to be honest, better content. Well, and then that's the thing. I mean, Zach and I were talking about this. We're getting better zombie content from small-time creators who are using the Black Ops 3 engine to put out custom maps. Like, bangers. Like, some of these maps are bangers. And, like, the actual legit developers can't put out anything close to this right now. Not Vanguard. If they put Chronicles in Vanguard, it'd be 100% be ass. I'm going to send a screenshot to the Discord. Community doing better than Treyarch right now? It is. Can everybody else see me? Because John's saying that he can't see me. I'm looking at myself. I have a new link for Discord, dude. All right, cool. So, all right. So, like, we're all getting pumped up, and like the way people are talking on the internet, it seems like Zombie Chronicles is close. Like, we're gonna get it. It's gonna be on either the Cold War engine or it's gonna be on the Vanguard engine. And here's what I found today. All right. So, Treyarch lead game designer Kevin Drew publicly addressed the Zombies community on December 4th. He encouraged fans to continue asking for Second Chronicles and even offered someone $10,000 if they can make it themselves. All right, guys, does that sound like somebody who's confident it's going to happen? It doesn't. To me, that removed any hope that I had of Zombie Chronicles coming out. And then, hold on, he had a follow-up quote that said, "Let me be clear. Please keep asking for Zombie Chronicles 2. That passion and demand is what keeps the door open to the possibility of it." Guys, when your parents ask you for stuff, the passion and demand, what keeps the door open for the possibility of it, that means it's dead. That means it's dead. It's not coming. It's not happening. We're not getting Zombie Chronicles 2. They are not focused on it. They are not considering it. It is dead. It's dead. It's not happening. It's not a matter of like figuring out where it fits into the development cycle, the development roadmap. It's dead. He said, just maybe don't ask in my tweets about a painful situation at work. Okay, guys, so this is something he's passionate about. This is something that the dev team is passionate about. I think this is something that those guys who are making zombie games are passionate about, and they got shut down. Like, they have been told no. So, hold on. And then somebody on Reddit says, this right here, man, a lot of people in this subreddit forget that these are people and this is a job, a pretty stressful one if you look at Treyarch's history with BO4 and Black Ops Cold War. They never had the time to produce a product with full potential and zero interruptions. I'd rather Zombie Chronicles 2 be their next title, seeing that they can finally deliver a product at peace here. So, I mean, guys, if Kevin Drew's saying, like, keep asking for it and maybe we'll eventually get it, it sounds like, no moss, it's dead. Like, stop asking about it. Like, he wants it. It's a painful situation at work, and we're not getting it. So I mean, like, tell me what you guys think about it. Have you guys read that? Have you guys seen those quotes from Kevin Drew? Like, this dude sounds like he has been crushed. It sounds like his soul has been taken from him, and he's working on games that he's not passionate about. So I don't know. What do you guys think? It's such a bummer, dude. It's such a bummer to hear shit like that. It's like, okay, not only is it over, but he, like, the last time he asked for it, somebody removed his soul from his body. Only thing that could save zombies is a standalone zombies game with a remastered. I appreciate the host, man. I don't know, God. Give me what you guys think about that. What's up, man? How you doing? I'm just bummed right now, dude. I don't know. I mean, like, I felt like it was a possibility. I felt like, hey, there we go. I felt like the way people were talking about it on the internet, that it was an actual, like, real possibility. Like, we were going to get Zombie Chronicles 2, and they were trying to figure out, is it on the Cold War engine? Is it on the Vanguard engine, or the Modern Warfare 2019 engine? Excuse me. They do keep on changing zombies. I appreciate the likes, man. If you want to jump on Twitch, we're doing a podcast right now. So I don't know, man. I just don't like when I was looking into this topic and I was doing some research for it, I was like, okay, we're going to figure out, like, what the timetable is, when it's potentially going to happen. And after reading this guy's quotes, it sounds like not only is it dead, but, like, they have had any sort of hope about it beaten out of them completely. That's why everyone hated Cold War. It's because their primary focus for 5 whole months was Outbreak, something that barely anyone liked. Yeah, man, I can't get excited or happy about Outbreak 2. I think Outbreak was cool. It was the Halloween event for Outbreak was cool. All right, brother, I'll talk to you later. I don't know. So anybody still think it's gonna happen? Ziggy, Zach, Nick, anybody think this is still gonna happen? Like, any sort of possibility that Zombie Chronicles 2 happens? It's dead for sure after those tweets. Yeah, man. It's just hope crushed. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. And then that really leads into kind of like the last thing I'm planning on talking about it. All right, but for old time's sake, and for the sake of the discussion, I'm about done with COD. I am too, man. I'm almost to the point where I'm almost completely done with it. All right, but for old time's sake, and for sake of discussion, what maps go into Zombie Chronicles 2. You guys tell me which ones you think, and I'll tell you which ones I think and why. I mean, clearly, we got our first two from Black Ops 2. So we got Transit. We give it a completely new game engine. The reason that they had the denizens and the smoke and the lava is so the old gen consoles, the game engine wouldn't break the last gen consoles. And so it really slowed everything down. They had a really interesting concept about this massive map that was connected by a transit system, pun intended. But I mean, when you think about transit, and when we were initially getting into it, it was such a fascinating idea. It's like, wow, this is a massive map that's connected by a bus. And side note, I forget what the guy's name who's working on his own version of it, but I'll be interested to see what he comes up with. But they just failed. I mean, like, everything about that failed, and I really feel like it had a lot to do with the last gen consoles. Verco, yep, dude, I donated to him, man, because he's so talented. So Transit, clearly, because I think there's the idea of Transit itself still holds water, is still very interesting. It's just delivery on it was just garbage. I don't know. And then, like, somehow you have to be able to, like, and you can build up the bus or add things and add mods to the bus or something like that. Or you can change the direction the bus goes. Because I think there are enough maps for Zombie Chronicles 2. I mean, I don't know. I mean, since this is all very hypothetical now. All right, so Transit, die rise. So you add die rise, but you either take the threat of fall damage death out of it completely, or you add PhD flopper, or you add different things about it to where you can fall a little bit further and not have it be such a big deal. And it's not as cramped. I think there's so much possibility for, like, a die rise remake. I mean, that goes without saying. Also a very cool concept, also really bad on the delivery. It just wasn't quite there in terms of their ability to deliver on that from a development perspective. Yeah, dude, like, you rework it, you leave the verticality, but then, like, you can't die unless you fall off the side of the building, you can't die, or something like that. I think that makes it very, very interesting. I don't know. And then there's an option to, like, tweak these Easter eggs and make them more interesting, things like that. So if new game engine, I guess sky's the limit in terms of what they can actually deliver on. And then I say Mob of the Dead too. And when I talked about this with somebody on TikTok, they're like, oh no, they remade Mob of the Dead in Blood of the Dead. It's like, no, that is an expansion. It's not the same characters. It's not the same voice lines, not the same Easter egg. It is not the same map. It is a portion of Mob of the Dead is in Blood of the Dead, but it's not the same thing. Two different things. One's the Ether characters. One's those the mobsters. I think, and if you go back and play Mob of the Dead, it's clunky because of the BO2 game engine and movement system. So I think you add that back in there, and I think or you give it that possibility, the expansion of a new UI game engine movement system, then it makes it really interesting. I mean, it's one of the best. I have it number 2 all time in my best maps, but it gives it the opportunity to just be that much better. Because what is the reason that it's not the best map of all time? Probably game engine movement system. Yeah, I mean, it did. We do kind of already have that, and I think that's how they were headed with it. But I want to be able to do Mob of the Dead on a new game engine movement system. Yeah, it's not a remaster. Dude, some guy wanted to fight with me over that, though. So we said Die Rise, Transit, Mob of the Dead, Buried. Now, I think Buried is a great map, and this is right up there with Mob of the Dead. But if you give me a Buried remake on a new game engine movement system with the updated graphics, because you think about it, and it's already a kind of bland setting, like you're underground, and then there's parts of it. Just think about how much cooler it could be to have 2022, 2021 graphics on on a buried remaster. So I think that would be something that would be really interesting to me. Potentially like change up some elements of the Easter egg. I think that would be exciting. And then I was thinking about it, and it couldn't just be limited to Black Ops 2 maps. So if you do expand it to different games, what is it outside of those Black Ops 2 maps that you would add it to? Because we already had the majority of the Black Ops 1 maps on Zombie Chronicles 1. So honestly, I was thinking about, like, there are some pretty good maps on Black Ops 4, but what would happen is if you not only, maybe not a remaster, but a rework of Dead of the Night or something like Voyage of Despair, and you make it more streamlined, you make it more approachable. Call of the Dead 2, and I think that's what they were trying to accomplish with Tagged or Totem. Yeah, so give it a kind of a polish, give the Easter eggs kind of a rework, and I think that makes it really interesting. But what about like some of your more lacking maps for Black Ops 4, and if you put them into a Zombie Chronicles 2, and you kind of tweak them, you make that Voyage of Despair more streamlined, or you make Dead of the Night more streamlined, because they're both pretty nice looking maps. It's just like very aimless. They're all over the place. They're too big, too many doors, too many things to do. So it wouldn't be, Zombie Chronicles 2 wouldn't just be a Black Ops 2 remastered. So, I mean, they have the opportunity to remaster other maps. So that was something that I was thinking of. So let me see what you guys have. So Die Rise, Mob of the Dead, Buried 5, Transit, Nuketown. I think, what about if you expanded Nuketown? What about if you made Nuketown a location on Transit? Or like you could teleport to Nuketown from Transit. That'd be interesting. Buried Transit, Voyage of Despair. Yeah, dude, Voyage of Despair for sure. Die Rise, Mob of the Dead, Buried 5, Transit, Nuketown, Call of the Dead. Yeah. You think Voyage is unsavable? Potentially, man. Yeah, dude. Well, and then here's the thing. When they originally put out Transit, and they had, like, they hyped it up, and we thought they were all going to be connected, and they weren't. And then they're playing with your emotions on Nuketown because you can hear the horn from the bus. And it's like, psych, you don't get that. So to have it link, to have there be a portal system, to have you can hop on one of the bus rides takes you to Nuketown, something like that, to tie them all together. I understand that we're talking like serious hypotheticals at this point, but it's fine. I don't know what else you guys. Ziggy says Voyage is unsavable. Voyage potentially might be unsavable, brother. I don't know. You guys like how I put Transit as the backdrop for the podcast? Part of Transit. We got a town expansion. Well, dude, like all bets are off. If you do a remaster, not only like is it not going to break the game engine if you move too fast through it, but like you can expand town, you can expand bus depot, you can just make it one full map. You can connect it. It can be an interconnected map. Maybe you don't even have to have the bus. Maybe the bus is optional. So all of the POVs are connected. Forsaken and Zombie Chronicles 2, I think that'd be interesting too, man. I don't know. There's so much possibility, and that's why we really want it, is because it can take some of these maps that just were either ahead of their time or just had poor delivery and really turn it into something else, turn it into something great. So I don't know, man. I think it would be, there's so much possibility. Clearly we're not going to get it now, the way they're talking about it, but what the hell. All right, anybody else? Nick, what's your list, bro? Dark Ether Transit? I think that'd be cool, man. I think it would all be, or you have to go into the Dark Ether to go to Transit, or Transit somehow gets transported into the Dark Ether. I think that'd all be pretty interesting, man. There's so many different ways they can take it, but I think we're talking about something that's just dying or dead. It's such a bummer. So we're all in agreement that travel between normal and Dark Ether, which each one having Oh, that would be really cool, man. And I was thinking about Bus Route B as well. It's like, because we were all hyped out about Bus Route B when the game first came out. We're like, oh, dude, we're gonna be able to go. And then like theater mode, you take it into theater mode and like try to go out through Bus Route B. But I don't know, man. I think Blundell was a troll, and that's one of the things I like about him. It was like they trolled us so hard. I mean, like Bus Route B was nothing. Nuketown wasn't connected to transit. All of those other things. I don't know. What's closing thoughts on Zombie Chronicles 2? I wish it was something, dude. I wish it was something, but it is. Well, here's what needs to happen. And this popped into my head. We need to get people like Verco. We need to get people like these guys who are making the Black Ops 3 maps and raise money. Or we need to like establish a corporation like an LLC and actually do a raise. And we need to organize, like have a Series A and raise money for these guys to develop zombies the way that we want it. Because tell me if they made a transit remake, everybody that played zombies, has played zombies, will play zombies, would all be playing at the same time. If they gave that to us, we would all stop what we were doing. We would stop playing Halo Infinite. We would stop playing Battlefield. We would stop playing everything else, and we would go play Transit. So, like this, this needs to become our thing. If we want to see these things, if we want to continue playing zombies in the way that we enjoy, then it has to become our thing. Like we have to own it. And so it's giving Verco the opportunity to do this full time and have this be his job, becoming like forming a corporation that is focused on making like good maps. Because is Treyarch even focused on zombies anymore? And this is one of the next points that I'm going to make is I don't think so. I know their business model. I know what they're focused on. I know how they make money, and it is not zombies. So you think about what their ROI is on zombies, and it's not the same as something like a battle royale where they have microtransactions with the battle pass. It's just not the same. And so they're probably thinking to themselves from a business perspective that they're not getting. Yeah, dude. We can. I mean, all right. Yeah, we'll add that on to the back of this segment. So what do we? I mean, given his background, given where he's coming from, so for you guys that can't see it, we're going to talk about Blundell's game. So they already had their raise, they already have their staff, they already have the development team, they're already working on something. I think I'm intrigued to see what it's going to be. Is it going to be a first-person shooter type zombie experience? And I really hope so. And they have the opportunity to take all of these lessons learned from zombies, from these failures, from these, I mean, even if you just take the feedback from the community and build a game with that, like I think you're going to be successful. But if they keep on making things the way they want to without any sort of feedback, I know it's exciting. I'm excited to see what they come up with, man. I don't know. Yeah, fingers crossed, man. I mean, knowing what I know about him, knowing what he's been involved in, how passionate he was, I'm excited to see how it works out. So my maps were Mob of the Dead, Die Rise, Transit, Buried, Dead of the Night, and Voyage of Despair, and potentially like trying to see if we could bring that back. It like those last two, the Black Ops 4 maps, since they really weren't that great. There's really not much to latch onto. Just too big. Streamline the map, streamline the Easter egg, things like that. And that's I understand that's not how remasters work, but I still think that would be really interesting to see if we could do that. All right. So, and this is all kind of Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead, dude. I think that'd be great. I mean, like an actual true Call of the Dead remake. All right, boys. So this is leading us to our last point, which is zombies dead? And I think the answer is yes. I think we just answered that question. The answer is yes. And the answer is yes because they're rushing out products. How they monetize games at this point is not the same. It's microtransactions. It's not paying for DLC. For some reason, we got away from DLC. And honestly, I didn't mind paying for maps knowing that I was gonna what I was getting was something that they spent time and effort on. So instead of having like the 3 or 4 DLCs, we just get free maps, but then it's microtransactions. And they're making money hand over fist with that, so who am I to disagree with it? But it was something that, I don't know, I looked forward to knowing that the next map was coming out in 3 months, and it was going to be something that was good. It was something that was already planned out, something that they had put time and effort into. And is it because it's dead? Yeah, for sure. Well, and is it like, when was the last good zombies game? Like, when are we going to say the last actual good, quote-unquote, zombies game was? I mean, Cold War's pretty good, but is it comparable to some of these older zombies game? And I don't really think so. I think, yeah, I'd say Infinite Warfare. I'd say Infinite Warfare was good. I'd say Black Ops 4 was good, but like actual true good banger, Black Ops 3. And so I don't know, man. It's kind of sad to see how it's gone. And I wonder if it is. Now you're good, brother. Are they undecided on how to proceed? It's like you hash out the Ether story. You go through all of like the permutations of where that story could go. You wrap it all up with Black Ops 4. Is it time to leave it behind? Or do you, like, is it serious enough to where that story has to be done? I understand you don't have the same voice actors anymore, but does the story have to end? You know? I mean, there's things about, like, Master Chief is never going to go away. So why do you have to stop telling his story? Why do you have to stop telling the Ether story? Why can't you expand the Ether story? So I think they dug themselves a little bit of a hole saying like, all right, Ether story's wrapped up, it's done. It's like, but do you have to? Like, if you told me that Richtofen, Nikolai, Dempsey, and, oh God, what's his face? Why can't I think of his name right now? Are going to be in another game, I'm like, great. Like, that's fine. Oh God, what is his name? Dark Ether story has potential. It's poorly written. I can't even think of his name right now, dude. Wow, that's gonna bother me. What a Takio. Jesus Christ. All right, that was a moment. That was a senior moment. All right. And then we talked about this earlier. Are they putting out bad content because it's rushed? Are they on such a shortened development map that everything ends up being rushed, nothing ends up being great? They put out a map that doesn't have a full story. That seems unfinished. Is that what we've ended up getting? I don't know, man. I feel like this is they've dug their own hole, and it's like, okay, well, we don't have enough time to put out something good, so we're gonna put up something that's like crap because we don't care, because we're not even making money from it. So that's kind of like where I feel like we went. Yeah, it's rushed for sure. Well, and then here, like, I had, instead of just like offering up complaints, I'm like, okay, well then let's offer up some solutions. So one is to like form a completely separate company, like have a small team of developers and have them own it and say, remake these maps. And if Treyarch is saying go ahead and do it, then like you're not going to run into like IP and copyright issues doing it. They're telling you to do it. Go ahead and do it. Remake it. So have somebody completely separated out from Treyarch, let them own it. Or another thing about it is stop rushing. Like have the roadmap be every 2 years. Have a release for zombies be every 2 years instead of like, nope, you got to hit it November every single year. I can't even imagine how much stress and pressure these guys are under to hit that. So stop rushing to have content come out. Put out Zombie Chronicles in late 2022 or 2023 or whatever the next zombies game is. Give it 2 years. Yeah, they do have to ruin everything, man. Have there be a build up to it, man. Like it sounds like from the sound of it, it doesn't seem like there was going to be zombies in this game, but then they added it. So it's like, I don't know, man. Have there be a build up, and then like a big one is like listen to the freaking community. Like listen to the community of people that want to play your game. Like I will pay money for downloadable content. I will pay money for a good zombies game. But I'm not gonna like I uninstalled Vanguard and I'm not gonna play it anymore because it's garbage. It's just not good. I mean, I don't know. I guess well, okay. Let's have an existential conversation. Is this the zombie community's fault? Like, because we complain about everything. Even when something's good, we complain about it. So is this our fault that they've ended up having to rush and put out things and they've missed the mark so many times? And have they missed the mark? I don't know, man. It's something that we kind of like have to turn the mirror back on ourselves and ask, yeah, it's 50-50. I don't know. It's something to think about, dude. So should we just go ahead? I mean, like, we're not going to like everything. We're not going to agree on everything, but it's something that we should be able to like shut up and get out of our own way on sometimes. It's just something to think about. Standalone zombies game. Stop attaching zombies games to time period pieces and have it be contingent on whatever time period you're putting it out. Put out a zombies game. It doesn't have to be tied to anything. You can have it be attached to whatever time period you want, but put it out as on its own. It's not attached to the certain time period guns. It's not attached to certain characters from a specific time period. It is its own unique thing. Build your own zombies story within that game and stop having it be attached to whatever game you're putting out on every November. Standalone game. And like Fortnite has proven that you can just continue updating one game forever, it seems like. So it's not, we don't have Fortnite 2. We still have Fortnite, but it keeps on getting updated. So I kind of feel like put out a standalone zombies game, like make me wait until 2023, but put out a standalone game and put it on the best engine that's available and then continue to update it forever. Like a new map every 3 or 4 months. It doesn't like break it out of this current ecosystem where it is attached to a multiplayer experience in a certain time period. Make your own zombies game. And yeah, I mean, I'll charge me for DLC because I'll pay for it. But then here's the thing, like, imagine a zombies game with its own zombies battle pass, and like you can customize your character, and it's like, I don't know, one of the unlockable characters is Primus Richtofen, and then the other one is like Ultimus Richtofen. I don't know, and then you like get voice lines for these old Ether characters. Like, give me a zombies battle pass, dude. Like, how cool would that be? I don't know, but you can't have that if you don't have your own standalone zombies game, because people are playing playing it for, yeah, I know, man, zombie maps in the battle pass, like specific artwork from when they put out Black Ops 1, something like that, really cool unlocks. And I think people hate on battle passes, but like, how cool would a zombies battle pass be? Like, give it to me, dude. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the DLC. I'll pay for the zombies battle pass. I don't know, man. Like, I guess where I'm at is weapons, Wonder Weapon blueprints. Dude, I know, man. Like, give me the zombies battle pass. Like, I'm all over it. I don't know, man. I'm at the point where it is dead. It is dead. The way we like it, the way we enjoyed it, And it's been really weird to see kind of it fall apart over time. And like, for a while there, they were trying. And then we had a couple ones that weren't that great. But then it's like, oh no, now we're just not getting anything. Now they're not even able to put the amount of time and effort into it. Yeah, man. Like a zombies standalone zombies game with a standalone zombies game with a battle pass and unlockable content, customizable wonder weapon blueprints, voice lines from Ultimus and Primus characters, skins for Ultimus and Primus characters. Man, I don't know, dude. That, like, sign me up for that tomorrow. Like, take my money. You can have all of it. You can have all of my money. So I don't know, man. I wish they would do something like that. But that you would have to listen to the community. Well, you'd have to have people that are focused solely on that, and I don't think they've had the ability to do that for a while. It's a lot of things at play, I think. But it's a bummer, dude, because it is dead. As we know it, as we appreciate it, as we like playing it, round-based zombie maps are dead. I know, and I wish it wasn't. Because, I mean, I'm telling you guys, every time I bring this up, people are like, oh, you just want to hate on zombies. It's like, no, dude, I want to love zombies. I want to put out maps. I want them to put out maps where it's like, this is absolutely amazing. And it's been a while. So, I don't know. Zach, what do you think, dude? Think we're at the end of zombies as we know it? Yeah, dude. That's the biggest bummer at this point. Zach's the only one that's chatting anymore. Me and Zach are having a conversation. I mean, what do you guys like? I'm excited about being back on the podcast. Even, dude, here's the thing. Even if they just made games like Cold War Zombies, that would be fine. That would be acceptable. That would be, at the very least, something like what we're used to. And we had some good maps, and we had some okay maps, and we had some maps that really weren't that great. But at least it was formatted, formulated, delivered in a way that we can appreciate playing. Like, I'd give me more of that, dude. Give me more of that. But this, like, mini outbreak that we're getting with Vanguard right now is just awful. Awful. Yeah, man. I mean, like, that was the thing about Infinite Warfare is that it's like, oh, hey, it's perk candy instead of Perk-a-Colas. It still plays the same way. They're trying too hard to appeal to the multiplayer community. Well, I think they may have killed it. So, I guess we'll see. We shall see. I think that's gonna do it, Zach. What else you got on this, dude? Rip zombies. I know, man. Rest in peace. That's all I can say. Rip zombies. I'm with you, man. I've been playing it for a long time. It's a bummer to see it happen like that. Who would have thought? I And that's the thing, man. Like, it doesn't have to go like that. How long have we been playing Halo? We've been playing Halo for 20 years at this point. It is a very similar format. It is the same characters, the same storyline, almost the same weapons. We're still playing it. Games don't have to die. Zombies didn't have to die. It's just like you iterate just enough to where it keeps it interesting, but you keep it familiar enough to where people still want to play it and they still recognize it when they turn it on. But when you do things like fundamentally change how the game plays, then people won't play it anymore. I know, dude. I know. Like the amount of times, I mean, clearly I'm a lot older than you guys, but the amount of time that I spent playing the absolute shit out of some zombies until very, very late at night. It's just crazy to think about. Zach, dude, podcast is back, bro. We ended up having 12 people on. The podcast is back. All right, let's do it on a weekly basis. I'm gonna have to continue coming up with content. But bro, it's good to be back on here, man. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I appreciate you being on. At one point, I was looking at my viewer count. It was 12 people, man. So I mean, like that's the most we've had on stream since we left Twitch. So we're back on Twitch. All right, Zach. We're yeah, man. All right, brother. I'm gonna get out of here, dude. But this is trying to keep them under an hour, man. But I appreciate you being on here. I don't know. I think Nick is still on. He's in and out. Ziggy's still on. He's in and out. All right. I'll talk to you guys, man. We'll be back on next week for a next episode.